Hi, es201. Here's a quick addendum to the content here from the second video that didn't get into the video I want to mention. And this has come up from some confusion with the zybook readings near the end with the operators, overloading operators. So I want to mention it. This here. So there's two different ways you can define operators, either outside or inside the class. And I'm going to explain on this slide what that means. The reason this is important, the zybook shows both versions, but they don't really clarify how they're different, and it can cause some confusion. So first I'm going to talk about defining an operator inside the class, which is what we've been discussing so far. So I'm just going to go through with a quick little example here again. I'm going to define a different operator. We're going to go ahead and overload the less than operator. And so normally if we're comparing two things, this is going to say is one object less than the other. That's going to be a logical operation. It's either going to return true or false. So if you look as I've defined it here, I'm defining the operator less than. It's going to return a Boolean variable, true or false, all right? And it needs to know what's on the right-hand side of the operator. Now notice I've declared this function, operator, okay, inside the class definition. It's before the curly bracket and that semicolon there. And now I've just written the function here fairly quickly just to have something to work with. And it's just going to go ahead and determine whether the age component of person is less than, and it returns the logical bool. So just sort of simple there. Now let's look at the main program. Let's look at what it do. I've got two instances of the operator, or sorry, two instances of the object, me and you. Me's age is 17, you's age is 20, and now I'm just checking, is me less than you? So I've overloaded that operator. I can compare those two objects. It's going to determine whether the age component of me is less than you. If it is, it's going to write younger. 18 is less than 20. So as I would expect, this program would write to the screen the word younger. And that's the way we've defined them before. Just want to again point out really quickly. Notice where I've put in red here, the operator less than is defined, okay, inside the class. It's before that last curly bracket and the semicolon. Okay. There's an alternative way you can do this. This is called defining it outside the class. So now notice, compare these two programs here. Notice I have that Boolean operator declaration is no longer inside the class. And now my function less than, this Boolean operator, right, now is just a standalone function that's sitting outside in the main program. And so I have it down here. So now it's no longer a part of person. It actually can be used by any object. And I'm showing what happens when it occurs between two objects of person. So here I have, it returns a Boolean, but now I don't have person colon colon because it's not associated with that class. It's outside. It's just a less than operator, a version of it that takes two instances of a person. So now the function has to take two things, the left-hand side of the operator, the right-hand side. So I've called them there left-hand side and right-hand side. And that's why I've got two versions there, or two parameters in there. I've declared it the exact same way. It's determining whether left-hand side is less than right-hand side. Now I've not associated with the objects. There's not like the this pointer. In the main program is the exact same. And I would go ahead and have the exact same response. The reason I point this out is the zybook in section 811 uses this inside method. The first one I discussed, this is the one I prefer, we've discussed so far. Section 812, unfortunately, in my mind, suddenly starts talking about operators and defines them outside the class, and it can cause some confusion. So I wanted to clarify that. It's a point I've raised with the publisher, but they haven't taken my consideration in. But just to kind of clarify that is, again, I prefer the inside method with all the homework and lab. You can do it on the inside. But if you want to do the outside and you're referring to section 12, just recognize there's another way to do it. And they're both valid. There's just one that I prefer. Okay, hopefully that helps clarify that. All right, see ya.